Mics are off. Okay, the mics are on.
That's
so
good.
I have to face this way tonight because we've got fucking 4 guests on. So, g'day guys. You guys are the Rah Rah Viper Band.
Yeah.
So the Rah Rah Viper Band, huh?
Yeah.
So names, so I don't get them mixed up, which I probably will get them mixed up. I know there's 2 Ollies in here.
There is.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm Jack.
Yeah.
I'm Ollie, the first one on the table.
Yeah.
No, I'm Harry.
Harry?
I'm the second Ollie.
All right. So, I start every episode like this, but what do you guys do? You're in a band. Like, how did it happen? How do you guys play 6 shows? And, now you're fucking doing your own Friday night at Jackrabbit Slim's, which is really cool. So,
Yeah, no, it's exciting. I guess, we've actually been going for a little while. I think it was it's 3 years. I think it ticked over the other day with, the Instagram social memory or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was pretty much literally just on the way to a football game with yourself, just realised that we kind of had a similar taste in music. Literally just by playing the aux through the car radio. And then from that, it was just the classic sort of, we should jam together.
Yeah. So I think I just got back from Splendor in the Cross.
Yeah, seeing everyone up on stage, playing to thousands, people like, yeah, I could do that. Let me up there. I want to have a go. So, have you guys got a musical background at all? Like what instruments do you guys play? Because 4-piece,
We're 5-piece.
5-piece.
Yeah. So I play guitar now. I used to play bass back in the.
I used to. I'm still not particularly definitely not the most musically gifted person at all.
It's all practice though.
Yeah, I'm still learning in a huge way. But you used to sort of have lessons at the start of high school, and then was actually living in Canada for a while after school, and then was just hanging out in a house with people that were all sort of part of a band there. And almost was just always envious of sort of what they, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever that they had going for them over there. And probably why when I came back, it probably linked up pretty well that as soon as we recognised we had similar taste in music. But even when we started, we weren't fucking shit. And that was the whole thing. We had no, we knew we were bad. It wasn't we were playing. There was never even after 3 months of practicing, there was no intention of ever even doing an open mic night or anything. We were just sort of spending a while mucking around with different mates, people sort of just literally garage jam. And then I think it was one of our good mates, Nick, was like, I know this other guy, Ollie. He's really good on a guitar. So just looking for someone to jam with. That's where young Crucky came into the picture. And I don't know, as soon as Ollie came, was
the scene.
This guy's pretty good. That was sort of, it wasn't until that point that we were maybe we could go do an open mic night or something like that somewhere.
And so is that, wait, sorry, what?
Mention the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Harry actually was part of the band in the early days.
At that time, Harry was 17.
He was so young.
So he was at school. Harry's a drummer.
And then, how long have you been playing drums for? For a while?
It's a bit of a weird one. At school, I played traditional marching style drums.
Into the mic.
So
Sorry.
I played that, and then through that you learn. Thank you. And through that you learn all the rudiments, which is the hardest part, I think. But then I just sort of got an electric drum kit for Christmas, and just sort of translate that onto that. And I just jammed random songs in my headphones, and it just
worked.
Practiced,
just happened.
I learned the hardest part first, which is now looking back on it, it's probably a good thing.
Did you get did you go and get not training, did you go drum lessons? That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah.
I got drum lessons for traditional style, but not for the drum kit. No.
Yeah, okay.
Pipe bands, marching bands, snare drumming.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
But still, it help you keep rhythm and shit, though, right? So...
Oh yeah, because all you do is play to a metronome, and you have to the timing is the key thing. We went in to record a song, and the engineer was like, "We'll see if it can play to a click. We're not really too sure. We'll see how it goes. If not, we'll just take it away." And then we went in, we did a few takes. He's like, actually knows how to play to a click, which is where that all came from. 'Cause all you do is play to a click.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool though. Like, it's just like putting all the pieces together and then yeah.
Exactly.
And then what do I forgot. I'm so sorry, I forgot your name.
I'm the other Ollie.
Oh, other Ollie.
50-50.
Yeah, that's it. So what instrument do you play then as well?
I play lead now, but grew up playing like classic guitar and piano.
Fuck yeah.
And only later into schooling kind of got electric guitar, so it was pretty new to it when these boys rolled up.
Yeah. And so, like, did you guys like start doing open mic nights, or like, what was like? How did you?
That was the first one.
We jammed for like a while, and then we
Like, how long a while? Like a year, 6 months? Yeah.
yeah, a few months.
Just played that
Or
first
just,
gig
like-
to the 30 people in the garage.
Yeah, and we had like a garage gig. Like
That's
a party,
sick.
party at the house I was living at.
That's
at the
sick
time.
though. Like, that's the
Yeah.
best kind of parties,
Oh,
right?
it
Like,
was
you rock up,
very-
there's a
yeah.
band, you're like, oh fuck yeah, Like, this is gonna be a
Just about
wild
mates,
night.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Was it
yeah.
wild night as well though?
It was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
We all got so pissed.
Yeah.
Like,
We were just
That's
so
it.
excited.
we were so
you know,
excited
like,
and
yeah.
nervous. You know?
Yeah. It was like, just get up there and
I'd
just
hate
rock
to know
out.
what we sounded like. Though, but-
Oh,
yeah.
I found
Videos.
phone recordings
there-
of those
yeah.
first few jam sessions, and they're horrendous.
But yeah, so much fun.
What type of music were you guys playing back then as well? Like,
Well, we started out like, because I'm like a pretty big like punk fan. We kind of got a lot. We had like a lot of punk songs that I
Yeah,
was like
absolutely.
pushing. So
Yeah.
like
Jack
a lot of like
declared
hard
us
and
punk.
fast
Mm.
type, shouty type things. But
shouty type, like System of a Down kind of stuff. Like,
Oh, not that heavy, but more like
Chop
yeah.
We named an event after it.
But like it was a lot of like driving bass lines and that type of thing. But then like Balti's got like a much more like low taste, which is that kind of those like blending
Folky
together
country,
after a while.
yeah,
Yeah, almost
yeah.
folky country that kind of blended together. And yeah, when we look at our music now, it's funny to see kind of a bit of the journey taken where it's like gone a few different weird ways. And then
Yeah,
Jack was a
Yeah.
bit sour
Come
when he
back.
left, and we turned into a mellow band, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, Jack was in Melbourne for a little while, so we kind of took a bit of the
Yeah.
punk life from him during that period.
okay.
But it worked.
But it's slowly bringing back. Yeah.
Was that just like for schooling or something?
I was
or-
over there for like work and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So like the band was still. So how long were you like? How long was the band going whilst you were away? So like you.
year and a half.
Yeah, fair while.
Yeah, because we had another drummer because Harry was young at the time.
Oh yeah, but then you go into the studio and it's like, oh, can you play
Yeah,
to a click? It's like,
exactly.
oh, you can do it.
Now he's basically holding all us
Yeah.
up. Like, when we're in the studio, I was like, I remember we were like, because you got to pay all the money and stuff like that, and you've only got 2 days or whatever it is to knock the song out. And he was like, oh, we should probably save all this time for drums because it often takes the longest, and it's the bass, so you want to get it right. We like smashed it out thanks to Harry's skills. Like, it was done within like 2 hours. And we're like, we are sweet. Like, we are so sorted with this. Turned out the guitars
Yeah.
not so easy to play.
Faulty and I took
hours.
hours.
Hours. yeah. Of just frustration at each other. So a lot of like danga ding, no danga danga ding.
No,
yeah. It was a lot of fun though.
That's sick.
Yeah.
So then, like, so you did your first garage like party kind of gig, and then like, what happened after that? Like, did you
Yeah,
like?
we signed up for like Mojo's Open, which is Monday. So like, that was our first gig at a venue, and we literally got every single person we knew
Made
to come.
everyone we know
Yeah,
come.
yeah, we like held like a barbecue for everyone to come before.
Put on all the food.
Put all the food and like we got them all down there. So like Mojo's was like the place is like packed like on a Monday night.
That's what you want though. Like, that's what every
No, and
promoter
that's it,
looks
like,
at. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know how good our music even was then, but like I think it was just that thing that like we did manage to like bring a heap of our mates out and sort of have like a really good Monday night. Of all
That's what
things.
got us through like the first 6
Yeah.
months, is that we just
Yeah.
kept bringing people, and they were like, people will come if we put them on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
They're just our
100%.
mates.
And we did play like mostly at those types of gigs, but we had like chucked in as well. I think that was a good.
Yeah.
We didn't just go like all covers or anything. We were like stick to the songs that we don't play. Yeah.
So like you kind of left those songs in the past kind of thing, and just like kept moving on and away.
All but
we've only
one.
got
All but one. All but one.
Still trying to-
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just we were sort of developing so much. Like it was just like, and to be honest, like we all knew each other, but we were all. It was probably something that worked really well for us. Was we were all part of sort of different social circles, I guess, and we just all came together because we heard this guy likes music and is keen to sort of play in a band, and we heard this guy, so we all came together. But then, in particularly for those first gigs where it was like about just trying to create a bit of an atmosphere, I guess it was so handy because we sort of all had our own social circles to pull from.
Well, that's the biggest thing about it, though. It's like I've said this on different podcasts and stuff like that, where it's like if you go to a venue, the three things you should look at. It's like, what's the atmosphere like? What's the music like? Who's in there? Or 4 things, and it's like, what's the venue like as well? It's like shit falling off walls, or is it a nice looking venue? Like, but like if you go in there and you know the crowd's rowdy and shit, some people be like, I don't want to take my family in here. But then you go in there, it's like, oh fuck, the music's sick. It's like, no, let's go and have a beer kind of thing. It's like it's all about building that vibe in a way.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. So like, I mean, obviously, like you managed to drag so many people down to Mojo's. Like, was that just like a half an hour gig or hour gig? Or?
Yeah,
Probably like 25 minutes.
25 minutes.
Even. Yeah, like 4 songs just in and out sort of thing.
Yeah. But still, that's not too bad though. Like, to just like, were you guys nervous or anything like that as well?
Petrified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a few beers beforehand though.
Oh, yeah, like too many.
Yeah.
It's gone already.
Yeah, it gets like that though, right? Like,
Yeah,
it does get like that. Because when you just go up there, and you're like, uh-oh, there's people watching.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
uh-oh,
yeah. And people,
can't stuff up.
Like, I swear, like, my ex-girl at that gig, or like, mates, whatever, she came along and, like, a bunch of her friends and stuff, like, kind of, like, waiting for us to fail, you know? Like, and I was like, oh, fuck, are we going to actually fail? Like, but yeah, no, it turned out to be all right. And they're like, you were actually all right. Like,
But that's the thing
There
though.
was a lot of that night, yeah.
Because like,
You guys are a lot better than I
but that's the thing though as well. Because you can have like accidentals, but the crowd don't realize that though. Because like, you know, they do and they don't, unless it's like, you know, you completely stuff up and you go out of time and this and that. But like, people just want to have a good time.
yeah.
And just go have a great night.
I think that's probably why like, we did a couple of covers, but I reckon more than anything, we struggled to play covers originally because we were all sort of learning how to play in a band together.
yeah.
And there's a few covers and there's a lot of empty spaces in those covers. And we just like, it's to say like, if you're playing a cover, people could more hear it like
They
if
know
you
when you fuck
made a mistake or something.
Yeah.
Whereas your own stuff, like they're like, you know, who's to say what was meant to be played like what? So probably why we're drawn a bit more to playing our own stuff even from early
Well,
on.
playing originals is so much better. It's like when I was talking to Talon last week, like, you know, he was in a band, he went to Oktoberfest and did this and did that, but he was just a cover band. And it's like, just being a cover band, it's like, you're just playing someone else's music. You're not really like putting because it's also like with Jonah the Giants, like when they said it, it's like, when they make they you know record a song or they make a song and they put their heart and soul into it, and it's like, this is our song and they're singing along. Like, it hits you in the heart kind of thing. So like,
you have to be so like vulnerable to put it like out there to like a bunch of people, which is like super satisfying to do.
Yeah,
and we definitely like got. I think early days it was all very just trying to like just make a tune for the sake of making a tune, whereas like, particularly later and all the later songs have all been a lot more about that, you know, like trying to express feeling and emotion and stuff like that and connect, I guess, on a deeper level.
Yeah.
Which has been really fun. Yeah.
So then, like, when you guys go up on stage as well, like, what's your stage presence like? You guys all just like rock stars, kind of? Or like...
I just think so. Big variety.
Yeah.
Because it's one of those things, like I said, with the atmosphere. Like when I go off and DJ and shit like that, like, you know, I told a few friends this the other night where, you know, I'll put a song on, right, and I'll line up the tequila song, but I'll like run down to the bar and people like looking, it's like, where the fuck's the DJ going? I go get 3 shots of tequila, run back to the booth, and it's like play the song. Everyone's like, what the hell's he doing? Tequila! And it's like, okay, he's cool. Like he's doing something different. Like DJs, you know, don't usually do that kind of shit. But do you guys get up on stage and you just like fucking skull beers and stuff like that, or?
Yeah, I think more than ever we're trying to just make sure we don't get too
hammered
happy before we go up on stage.
Gig night.
But in saying that, yeah, we all love it. I think we did
Took our shirts off once.
We've taken our shirts off once. That was really exciting.
The girls go nuts or what? Like...
Yeah.
Not really.
No, not really.
Yeah, you should have seen.
There's beer bellies everywhere.
No, we have had some really fun ones. Like, I think we played like it was a strange one, like this event with an event company called Palace, who had never really done anything with before, and they had this massive and it was like one of those weird ones where we walked in, we're like, what the fuck's going on? It was like
a block.
It was like a block that shut down the whole area.
Where, was it Fremantle or was it which block?
Scarborough?
In Scarborough block party.
The car park and everything. And there were probably about like 1,000 people.
Yeah, that would have been sick.
And we play there a fair bit. It was like one of those we were just sort of expecting another indie bar gig to the usual crowd and punters there. We were like, this is not usual indie bar. And then that was that was like one of the ones where we got up on stage and there was like a couple people sort of jumping up, and for whatever reason security decided that they were okay to sort of stay up there.
Yeah, I walked off for a song.
You walked off, yeah.
And then came back at the next song and there's someone else in my place.
Really?
Millie, like trying to sing one of the songs with us.
Really? What?
Millie, she's with the band.
I'm out.
Giving security the nod, like,
So like, Millie was just
so
like
much fun.
Was Millie just like a fan and like in the front,
punter.
a random punter?
But she knew some of the words to the song.
He just like, all right, well, Ollie's going to fix your string. Get up here.
But at one point during that set, you had gone off to fix a string. Sundi had gone off to get a beer. And it was just Bolty and I on the stage playing Taylor Swift.
I came back and Harry's just shaking his head. He's like,
So Harry,
what's going on? These guys are
having a
party
sick
boys.
time.
So I was gonna ask as well. So like, how often did you guys jam back in the past? And then like, because that's the thing is like, me and Damo have had this conversation before where it's like with the band, you got to be super tight, and like when you go on like not practice, but like try and make tunes and stuff like that. You got it all like flowing in a way, but it just happens with practice though, right? Like and just hanging out and just catching up and stuff. Like, how often would you guys go off and practice?
Once a week, I think. It's and then sometimes you're playing enough. Particularly recently, we've almost been playing like a show sort of every weekend, sort of thing. And
that's pretty good.
And then once you get into that rhythm, and you sort of just you're not, as long as you're sort of going to a few different places, you can sort of just do the same sort of set sort of thing. And that makes it a lot easier, and that sort of builds a lot of confidence, I guess, when you're up there.
We went on
100%.
Went on like down south band called Old Mervs.
Okay.
And I think we didn't practice playing like 3 shows within a week. Like first one, we're like, oh, it went all right, and then like kind of played this. At the start, we did practice.
I reckon we practice more.
Early days.
Yeah, in the early days, we did like twice a week or something.
Whereas probably now a bit more, as you said, like about songwriting and trying to spend more time trying to write, rather,
writing music.
And then saying that, we've had some ones where we practiced twice that week, and then gone up and then just made some shocking mistakes. And then we've had ones where we haven't like even seen each other for 2 weeks, and we've just gotten up and expecting like that it just won't come together, and somehow like you go to the end, you make it to the end of it, and you're just like, oh, somehow
pretty good.
A lot better.
You killed it, yeah. So then, like, after Mojos and stuff like that, what were some of the other gigs you guys managed to pull together and everything? Because, doing the block party is pretty impressive. Because I was playing upstairs Scarborough Beach Bar, and it's like, no one's here because they're at the block party. Like, this is shit. Like,
no, we've done a lot of quiet ones. I think we because we haven't really stopped. After we did that first open mic like 3 years ago, we've kind of just been, it's definitely gotten bit more momentum, like in the last year for sure, but for the 2 years before that, it was just sort of just chipping away sort of thing. All sorts of like anything from like Aardvark and Freo or the Sewing Room, the city, like a lot of small venues there.
Sewing Room's such a good venue. Such a good venue.
To like local footy clubs and stuff like that.
I can imagine they go off though. Local footy clubs go off their shit.
We had one good one there. That was it. Were you find that one? Oh my god!
What happened?
The worst.
It was the first, it was all teed up through, mate.
I wasn't there either. Disclaimer.
Which is probably why it went so south. No, it was good. It was just the class. It was like, as you said, like when you're up there playing covers, you probably got a bit more of an opportunity to make a little bit of money off it. And I think we organised a player for like an hour or something. Particularly us, like it's very hard for us to learn covers. Like very, you know, we're like, oh, we'll spend this time, we'll learn an hour. And it was all agreed, and we finished playing after an hour. And what do? They no joke ran up after an hour.
The decks aren't working. When
the
you just play
DJ decks weren't working, and they're like, we'll just give you like this $200 if you can just keep going for another like 2 hours or something. And we're like, we have no more songs. Like, we are done. And they're like, no, just we can play the same thing again. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. And like after the third run of like the same cover, people are like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. And then we're heard this. And then we sort of we're like, instead of playing Pumped Up Kicks for the 4th time, does anyone know how to play drums? And we're just like trying to just come up with covers on the spot.
No shit.
Yeah.
So what other covers did you guys try and do you guys? Because I mean, Pumped Up Kicks. So, like I didn't expect that. Like.
Yeah, no, that was just a classic footy club.
I don't think we played that at a gig before.
Yeah, it's more of a sub.
Yeah,
these are just like kind of like you would play covers when we played like friends' parties or friends' footy club gigs. But normally it would be like original. Yeah, we like recently. What do we?
The
play?
Black Keys. Like, we love the Black Keys.
Yeah,
like,
Black Keys are good.
Well,
like Lonely Boys,
yeah.
a banger of a song. Banger of a song.
Massive Black.
What the Pixies? We still with the Pixies.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like Where's My Mind?
Yeah, we still Where's My Mind.
That's sick. Fuck yeah.
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic
Yeah.
Monkeys. That's
Fuck yeah.
their second song.
Yeah. Is that the third one we've done with this?
2.
Second Two Door Cinema Club at one point.
Yeah.
Really?
That was my favourite, I reckon.
Which tracks by Two Door Cinema Club?
Sun.
Yeah.
Sun. Okay, I don't think I've heard that because I know I Can Talk and the Martian one. I know a few songs.
Yeah.
Then so then like you said before we started, it's like some of the band members are like come and gone. Like you said, you went away for a year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, so was it just like? Because that's the thing is like being in a band, like you all got to be on the same page. But then like is it just like
same state too?
Yeah, you
yeah,
got to be
that's it.
Yeah.
We did one Skype jam.
Yeah.
How did that work? A Skype jam, like
Yeah, not very well.
yeah, because it been a delay and everything. Right?
It was about the laugh, not the music.
Yeah. Well, that's still good though.
Yeah.
Like keeping it, as a crew kind of thing.
But like I guess like because it was originally Ollie and myself and another guy, like my cousin, another cousin who was like the drummer, and he didn't want it. He wasn't really that much, so he was like. That's when I kind of like left a little bit before that, so I kind of like signed out for a bit. I was like, oh, I'll just get Harry in, good drummer. And the other guy who's not here, Julian, he took my spot playing bass. So he still played bass, and then when I've been back, I was like, we can't kick Julian out now, Like, so I've just been playing guitar now.
Yeah.
Got another, probably too many maybe. But
Yeah. So what is that? So technically, it's 3 guitarists.
3 guitarists.
That's pretty cool though. Like everyone gets an instrument. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Like a lot of my job now is.
Yeah, just hang out, and rock out. Yeah.
The presents.
Yeah.
But I think like this, like we've been this sort of crew for the last year and a bit, sort of thing. It's definitely the most settled that it's it's ever been, and writing stuff's a lot more comfortable and all that sort of stuff. So yeah.
So then, like when you guys go to write music, do you guys all like come together, or do you guys like just write stuff and then throw it in a group chat and like all just talk about it, or like?
We've done it a few different ways, like just coming up with songs together.
Usually someone kind of comes up with the bass kind of like riff, or
we've had a few
chords.
where someone's just written like the whole thing.
But then from that point, we just kind of bounce that bass off each other at practice. Like I think more now, particularly as we just sort of play more and more gigs, that time of like just spending in like the practice studio, wherever it is, and just mucking around with new stuff rather than like playing. I think like if we have a show or something, we'll do one last practice to like do a run through. But then besides that, we try to catch up like once a week to just muck around with, and that's probably the more fun part of it. I think more than anything.
Because then, like, how would a song kind of come together in a way? Like, would someone just kind of just play a riff as well, and then like you just throw it?
Someone comes up with a core idea, and then bring it together. We
We even
play
play
it
it
for a little
live a
while.
few times, yeah, just to kind of
Try it
gauge it
live.
and see what people liked about it, and
We have had
and
people
if
say,
it
don't play
hit
that
like
again.
Really?
yeah,
That new one didn't work.
yeah, and a lot, like
Yeah.
I think like we'll muck around with so much stuff, and I guess we're just the pure quantity mentality, right? Like we keep mucking around with new stuff. Eventually, one will go and we're like, oh, it's actually listenable, you know. Like, people
Writing
actually
songs
enjoy
is
it.
hard.
Yeah.
Writing something that's original that we haven't done before that doesn't sound the same as everything.
We will often have pretty much most of the songs, play it for ages live
Before we touch it recording wise.
Yeah.
before even, so it changes a lot. Like some of the better songs that we've now that are out there and quite popular. If you go back and like listen to like,
The old,
videos,
yeah,
some
it's
of them, like,
insane.
it's a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
song.
yeah.
Like it's completely different. So it's kind of cool how they just develop over
Yeah.
time.
But that's what's so good as well. It's the evolution. It's like you
Yeah.
look back and it's like, that's a completely different track. But then it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, like it's so much better now, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
This last EP we did though was super rushed.
Yeah, it
It
was a little bit. Yeah.
very rushed. But sort of worked.
So how many EPs have you guys got out?
One.
Just the one at the moment. How many tracks on it?
4.
4? Like,
Yeah, so that was released last.
okay.
yeah,
Is
that's
it on a platform we can pull up?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
on
it's on-
Spotify.
All right, Damo, get on to Spotify, please. So what's the EP called? Okay, so there's no name.
You can introduce
It's called Kawaii.
Yeah,
Kawaii. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool though. That's
Yeah.
alright.
After our Japanese fan page.
Heavily
Yeah, let's
inspired.
dive into that now. So tell us the story about
Crack?
yeah, you're a fan.
I was a Japanese
You
lady
first.
called Hatsuko, and she caught on to the fact that I played in a band and immediately demanded that she runs the fan page for us. We sort of thought it'd be kind of few things here and there, but it's a daily thing.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Like-
Oh, she's insane. She's very admirable. She's constantly asking us our favorite food types.
Oh, really?
She wants
Colours,
full
yeah.
profile on all of us.
But she's
Just doing it.
Stalking. Like-
she throws the opinion in there, and then one time she was like, "You should call the song Kawaii or the EP Kawaii." And sometimes we're like, "Oh, maybe not." But that time we're like, "That's actually." I don't know why, but everyone seemed to like it. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's no real
Like
meaning
Cool.
or anything
Japanese
behind it,
word.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Cute.
Is it? Yeah.
And she just said it all the time. We're like, what the people all right.
Well, that's the thing as well. It's like they actually, like in my opinion, there is like a rise of like the Japanese culture and Western society kind of thing, where it's like well, not so much just like anime and stuff like that, but it's like the culture behind it in a way, where it's like all the cool little
You throw in like little words.
exactly
Yeah.
the pictures and like the
Yeah,
videos
yeah.
that pop up and like the neon dystopian future kind of stuff, and like like it's a cool trend kind of thing, and it works really well. And that's the thing is like, well, does the music on Kawaii like is it bubblegum poppy kind of stuff, or like, what is it? Like,
It's as pure as that's a cool word. We really like that word. And I guess
So, how would you describe the songs on the EP whilst Damo pulls it up? Like,
Angry
do you like
Boys.
Angry? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Angry. No, I like Angry Boys.
Angry Boys
Yeah.
is the
That was the
best
first
produced
one. On that was the
Best
first one we
produced
had.
one,
Yeah.
I think. One of the songs on it, I don't think was quite.
This is coming from the person that
Harry
produced
does.
it. as well.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
He would never be
He's
happy
a-
with
he's a-
anything. Yeah.
Right.
well, no, that's a good thing though, because it's like
Perfectionist.
for me, right? Like, I've said this in the past and stuff like that, but I record every single DJ mix. Like everywhere I play, I record the mix, and I've got 713 uploaded now. But what I used to do when I first started was I would go back and re-listen to it and be like, okay, I'm not doing that again. I'm not making that mistake again. I'm not playing that song again. But then it's eventually you can like learn and actually go, okay, wait a minute, this, and this, and it works, and you find like your direction, your formula, I guess you could kind of say in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I was gonna say as well. So like, how long? Because you said it was rushed. So like, how long did it take you guys to pump that out? Like,
Well,
Wow.
it was for
6,
it
7
was
months.
well it was for a uni project. So I came up with the idea of doing it as like my fun project, and then probably like 2 months in total we'd barely written the songs. We had them recorded like a month later.
But still, that's pretty cool though. Like, because
yeah, it was cool for us. I think just to try take for the first time, like just try taking on ourselves.
That's
I
it,
guess.
yeah.
And,
like to put it up on Spotify and everything like that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like it's it's up there now. Like, and the thing is, like now it's on Spotify. You can go back in like 5 years and be like, hey,
yeah, exactly.
there you go. Like,
yeah.
that's where we started, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys?
The average punter probably won't realise too many.
No, I think you have a very selective
Harry's
Harry.
so
Yeah,
particular with all the sound. He's like, you hear those drums?
No, but that's a good thing though, because then you've got the ear for it though.
Yeah.
And you got the ear for it to be like, no, we
so-
got to get perfection. And that's what
Ollie
you
and
you
Harry.
need a perfectionist.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly,
need a
yeah.
perfectionist. But then, like, are you studying that at the moment, or like?
Well, Rocky and I both did. We're both finished now.
But like, what was it though? Like it's
We did
music.
music
Audio
production,
Music production,
at SAE.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. And like, did you guys enjoy it as well? Like, it was a good course, or?
Yeah.
So I did our first, well, not
Yeah,
the
you
first
done
one, but
first.
the second and third song that we released, I recorded for the same uni project a year earlier.
Okay.
Definitely made the most of it.
Yeah, like you can see it from our perspective. Like we've just seen a studio that we can just get into and hook into. For,
Yeah.
on
Well,
the-
these
on the
guys-
royalties of these guys.
We've only actually paid for it once.
Yeah, well, these guys like we got to pass this course.
Yeah.
I got to get through it. Like, that's pretty good though. And so, like, when you go to like mix and master and stuff like that, so like, how would you guys put it together in a way? Because like, I don't know much about that, but like, do you guys all get into the studio at the same time and then play it, or will you just do the guitars as a separate track, or
Everything one at a time.
one at a
Yeah,
time?
We're
Was-
not good enough to do it like.
But like, do you get
Tried once. We
With-
never saw the mix.
with that though? Do you guys find it like difficult, like being able to play like okay, get in there and play that guitar riff and then like do it for that section, or like how do you play the whole song in the
Yeah.
one take?
Mostly.
Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty cool though, because then it's like
It depends what you're recording though. Like, if you're doing like lead parts, Rocky
It's all a
does,
bit broken up.
you do them broken up, but like rhythm, these two do, and bass, you normally do the whole songs. Then also in the post production, best bit, blend them all. So, yeah.
how many takes did it take you guys to do, like to get the EP out and stuff like that?
Good few days, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
studios.
You think about it. I don't think it was enough.
Yeah.
But that's because you're a perfectionist.
Yeah.
But no, but still, like it's it you got to do takes and you
I
got
think one
to.
of the coolest things about it was like because we've done one where we got it properly recorded, and that was an amazing, awesome process for us. Like more just to go and experience it with someone who's recorded heaps of other people, and sort of them take you under your wing, and have someone there, particularly with us, be like, no, try play like that, and just to bounce ideas off. But then there was like huge perks with this one that it wasn't like, because we obviously had the SA studio for a period of time, it didn't feel as sort of rushed, like we could go in there and muck around with a few things. Or
Yeah.
if
We
wanted
still
to
did a lot
record
from home,
synth.
though.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then we could mix some of it with stuff from at home and then blend it.
So how would you do it at home though? You just have like a DAW and just
I've
like
got-
plug
yeah,
in
we've both got very
Ableton.
rudimental home studios, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool though. And then like, so you just send it like just to a Dropbox, I guess, and then like go to the studio and put it all in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Most of the stuff we do at home, we don't. Well, when you record it in the studio, you record it through the actual amp, and when you do it at home, you just do it straight through an audio interface.
Yeah.
And plugins to make it.
Because drums are sort of the trickiest, aren't they? Like that's the one that hard to capture, is it?
For me, yeah.
But
What it was.
do you use an electric drum kit at home, kind of thing, or do you have the?
No, not really. I don't really. If it's like writing a demo, I just use drums. Try to find a good plugin to use. I don't. To be honest, I don't really practice my drum because my brothers stole my electric drum kit, and
Yeah.
the other drum kits, the acoustic one's just way too.
For old
that's-
Janice and Mike.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I've always realized. Like, that's what I've always looked at as well. It's like, you got to put mattresses on the walls and everything like that just to try and sound absorb it. And you got to wear earmuffs as well, so you don't go deaf, kind of thing, right? Does it gets loud up on stage though, right? Like,
Yeah, it's probably not even up where we because of all that, we always go to like a practice place, I guess, and they're based off.
Yeah, that's what
not too far from here actually, like over in Hilton, and they're pretty cheap and good rooms to rent out. But that's where I find, because you've kind of got a small room, if not smaller than this room, and then you got your drums, 3 amps, and a bass amp as well. It's those practice sessions that you sometimes come out and you're like, oh, there goes 2 years of...
Do you guys ever wear your hearing protection or anything like that?
Oh, I've tried a couple
I
times.
lost mine.
Harry does.
Yeah, you're on the same level as me. It's the same thing with DJing. It's like, I've already lost most of
It's
it.
actually
like-
loud at DJing. Is, I reckon, at times playing a band, you have control of it. Like when you're DJing, so you keep like gradually turning it up. At the end, your headphones are just
blaring.
that's loud. Then you turn your fold back up. Yeah, it just gets louder and louder. Whereas when we play live, we don't touch speakers. Sound guy does.
Yeah, he
it all,
does.
so.
Yeah. Do you guys like, when you guys go and set up, like, do you use the in-house kit and stuff like that at all? Like, I mean, you bring your own guitars and stuff like that, but for like drums and stuff like that, like, or would you?
Mainly, yeah. I guess when we practice, it's pretty much all our own stuff except for a PA system. Basically, they provide.
But when we play live,
Yeah.
the band who's hosting the show normally.
Okay.
For example, for our show at Slim's, it's our show. Provide everything, so we'll bring Harry's kit and our bass players, Sam, a couple of amps, and bands can use that.
Yeah.
If you're putting on the show, you've got to provide like.
Yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So where else have you guys played then as well?
We played a lot at Indie Bar recently. So a lot there. Mojo's in Freo. A lot.
Oh, so you have gone back to Mojo's a couple of times.
Yeah, always back there. That's probably one of our like.
Always end up,
It's a
getting
good
another
venue.
gig,
It's a great venue,
So
that
good,
place.
Indie Bar recently though, more and more, like we're seeing just be. There was even a period
They had
there.
a huge cap during COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
I've been getting heaps of there, people in.
How was COVID for you guys as well? Like, did you kind of just go? Because like I said before we started, I was just like, all right, I'm not a DJ anymore. Pubs and bars are gone. What the fuck's happening, kind of thing. But did you guys kind of like practice at home and just like, or what was the go? Like,
It actually surprisingly, like it was really good for us. I feel like in a weird way, like COVID, I guess.
And not as many interstate or international acts coming in, so it was easy to get Saturday and Friday gigs.
But I was talking to a friend about this last night at the Insomnia Ball, where it's like, because of that, he's been able to get so many more gigs and make a bigger name for himself, which is already a huge name. Like, have you guys ever heard of Flash Cult at all? Harrison? Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, he's already a big name, and he's also Perth's tallest DJ as well. Shout out if he's going to watch, but it's one of those things where it's like, since no internationals and everything can't come in, it's exactly as you said, like, more opportunities. And the thing is as well, is like Perth is the most isolated city in the world next to Dubai. And if you can make it in Perth and then go over to the East Coast, you can make it anywhere. Because like Australia is booming basically. Like,
I think, that definitely worked. I was in Melbourne during the lockdown that they had over there. Like, so I actually couldn't.
Really? So you were
the
stuck
border
over
was
there?
So tight. And yeah, I reckon that made it for the border. There's so many like, oh, you want to play Saturday night?
Yeah, in a weird way, it was also a cool thing where a lot of the capacities also for a period there got reduced to 50% or whatever it was. And then, so all of a sudden, like they'd sell out within, no matter who it was, playing. I'd say, but it took a whole bunch of like that stress off of like ticket sales and all that sort of stuff, and made it a lot more just playing with your friend bands, and
just
stuff like
hanging
that,
out,
putting on joint lineups and stuff like that, and not having to worry about all the other stuff that sort of comes with it. It was like, kind of refreshing and relieving, like in a nice way.
See, it's good for you guys, but like for me, it was like, okay, we got a capacity now, and then people rock up and then they go home and like, all right, we can't have a party anymore, kind of thing. But like, how affected were the restrictions in a way? Like, so like Mojo's, how many people do you reckon you can pack in there? It's like 100, 200?
It's normally like 200, 250.
And then like after restrictions, then it would have been
like 100.
Yeah.
So
it
it's
would
still an alright crowd.
It's not bad.
There's always enough to make it feel like a little bit of energy. Like that.
We played our last hard rock. that's a pretty small capacity. Normally it's like 100. Intimate, yeah. But with the restrictions, only let like
70,
80 people. So like, oh, and it's sold out like way quick. Expect.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is like it's also unpredictable. No one knew that this shit was going to happen, and it's like, all right, we'll have to see what happens, kind of thing. This is even like with me and Damo. Like, we booked flights to go to Melbourne, and we're going to go to the snow and all sorts of shit. And I was actually going to try and do 2 podcasts over in Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
But then the thing is like, wait a minute, they got cases again. Okay, well, can't go over there anymore, because apparently it's 28 days of them having 0 cases before it's like it's kind of okay to not do the quarantine back here and stuff like that. Yeah. But it's just
we've been so lucky with it over here at the end of the
so lucky. Yeah. So lucky. I've got friends in England, I've got friends in Amsterdam, I've got friends in like different parts of Europe, and they're struggling, unfortunately. And just like they can't, but obviously their club scene is completely different to ours. Yeah. You know, they'd pump it out with like 10,000 people kind of thing. But for us being so small, you know, we've been very, very lucky. So I was going to ask as well, so like what are some of the wildest nights you guys have had? Because like how many gigs have you guys actually played? Like, you played quite a few, right?
Yeah,
how many do you reckon we played?
4. How much do you reckon? Total gigs, all up.
I reckon we cracked 100.
Yeah,
100. Fuck yeah, that's all right. That's pretty good. Like 100 over 3 years is pretty good.
Last one we all got, except for you actually, you didn't get one.
Not yet.
We got tattoos on the one.
Really? Yeah. Wait, what? Last gig you got tattoos and shit?
Down south. Sort of it all goes well and it's all fun and let's go get some band tattoos. That was really fun.
Are they on the Facebook at all?
No, they're not. Maybe we should put them on.
Go on, get them out.
And then I don't know. There's been some, So it's a shame Sanders can't be here because he usually does lead the charge with that sort of stuff.
Like the weird shit.
We've just got to hold him back till we play, and then after that point on, he's he's a gentleman, but he loves to push the party, you know, and sort of take charge and lead us all into different.
But that's what you want though as well, right? Like as I said, like you gotta have a band where it's like it's multi-purpose. And it's like,
absolutely.
You know, you got the perfectionists, you got the party boy, you got the singers, you got this, you got that. Like, you know, like what you're saying before, where it's like, well, like what Harry was saying.
Got it.
Got him. Where it's like, you know, you're playing an indie bar and it's like, all right, so it's just 2 of us on stage. Someone's fucked off to have a shoey. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's funny like that. Hey, like, would you you definitely need a diverse profile because if we're all the same, like we're all me or all you or all Harry's, it would be like, wow, like the same.
But so, like, what are some other wild nights and stuff like that?
I think do you remember it was our second ever gig? I think
Chop Suey was big.
Chop Suey was large.
Chop Suey. So what?
So that was like
that house
first house party.
Okay.
But I think the funnier one was, for me, anyway, in my opinion, was when. I can't remember the name of the event. It was in a shed in Freo. But it wasn't Jay Shed. It wasn't
the other side beer.
Yeah, it was
linked
to the other side who were just starting up. Like they're obviously huge now, and now like pretty much have Freo social. There's obviously some relationship there, but back then it was like this little shed in Freo, and it was like the classic first gig. Basically, that was our first gig from the open mic night, I think, and it was we were still heavily in our punk phase then, and it was a very chilled out shed.
Like people sitting down, like acoustic guitarists.
So really chill.
Yeah,
And then we bought, all the mates and stuff started coming. A few of them had a bit too much to drink. And I can remember one person in particular drinking too much whilst we were playing, falling over, hitting the PA on his way down, and then just was kind of, and then we were sort of like, oh, do we stop playing and like deal with this guy? Is he okay?
No joke, it was like an egg on his head, sticking out like that. And someone's like, we need to take him to the hospital.
So like, did you guys stop playing and take?
No,
just kept going.
We watched The Egg with caution, and then
Okay.
we checked on him after we finished playing.
That's what a good band should do.
Yeah.
But that would have been hilarious though. It's like, oh my god, he's drinking too much. Like, and what did the crowd think as well? Like, everyone's just like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
People having the picnic type thing, I think they kind of like backed off. They're like, what's going on
Cleared
here?
the space out.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was just like a second, so like, you know what to expect. Like probably like a bit much for this type of crowd, but yeah, it was funny.
But still, that's awesome though. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Prince of Wales was a pretty
Yeah,
wild
that
night.
was cool.
Oh yeah.
That was
Where-
just like, it was our first time on tour.
That's down in Bunbury.
Yeah, down
right?
in Bunbury,
Yeah, yeah,
and they were
yeah.
like, that was the coolest place. Like, I guess we didn't know what to expect, and I don't think we really expect much, you know, sort of thing. So we also had the swags in the back of the car,
Mm.
you know, ready to go, and that was the proper, like, you know, I'm pulling up and loading into the event, and they're like, "Oh, here's your keys to the upstairs." I'm like, what?
So we're
Like,
not
keys
sleeping on the
upstairs?
ground. Like,
We're not sleeping in the car. And then open up, and it was just like all these bunk, like it was like in the old hotel, I guess, upstairs
We
there.
ended
So
up getting 7 rooms.
7 rooms.
Yeah.
They gave us a
Between
room
two
each.
bands.
Really?
And we were like,
And
and a
filling
band
it.
room.
Each-
And so
every
like
single band.
we went
Yeah.
up to the band room like straight after the gig, and it was like, oh, this is sick, and we just had a party there like 5 a.m.
Fuck, that would have been awesome. So like, does that happen often as well? Where like you'll finish the gig and be like, afters, who's keen, kind of
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You got to build the hype and build the audience,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
That was sick. We were
That
just
was
sitting in this
fun.
room, and like next morning, you know, the room was just stunk so bad. Like, just like,
There were these 2 randoms in the bunk bed.
yeah, like. They're like, yeah, I partied with the
Just-
band
yeah,
last
yeah,
night.
yeah. A lot of friends we made in Bunbury.
yeah.
So like on that tour, so what other stops did you guys do? How many stops were there? And like where else did you play? Do you play at places like Cave's House or anything like that as well, or
Played at the river.
the River,
Yeah.
River and Margaret River? Fuck yeah, that's
Yeah.
all right.
Sweet
Um,
gig. We were meant to stop in Mandurah as well, but it was just there'd been that little COVID lockdown that happened
Yeah,
recently,
yeah.
and so they had still had to like.
Was that weird? Yeah, Perth and Mandurah was still with really limited
Within the
capacity.
Mandurah was a nightclub,
And
so it had
then-
those extra
yeah.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that the upstairs?
top floor?
Top floor. Yeah. Okay.
That's
yeah.
where it was meant to be, but they decided to call it off.
Yeah.
We were just supporting our friend's band, which is probably, I reckon, arguably the coolest thing from all this music stuff is being able to meet like all these other bands. And I guess like going in, I thought it was going to be like this huge, like, and there is like a lot going on. It's this massive thing, but it's crazy how quickly you get to know everyone, you know, and particularly if you're like the same music styles, you end up playing with the same sort of bands over and over again, and quickly like you're sharing lineups on different events 2 or 3 times within a year with the
But that's
same.
what I was saying before as well. Like being so isolated, it's like it's all networking and socializing and just hanging out and having a good time. Because like if you have a good, like I've always said this as well about like DJing, is like if you go up on stage and you have a great time, everyone's gonna have a great time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
then they'll remember that and be like, oh, last time I saw them, they were having a fucking wonderful time. But the mistake a lot of DJs fall into is where they'll actually like. They'll go off stage and then someone will come up and be like, oh, you killed it. That was amazing. Like, oh, no, I made heaps of mistakes and this and that. But then it's like, then the next gig that you play, they're like, well, you made heaps of mistakes last time. You better do better this time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But if you just get off and be like, oh, cheers, thank you, and like be humble about it, then, you know, more than likely going to come back and have a good time, kind of thing.
Definitely, yeah. Because we've like, I think a lot of the time along our kind of like journey has been like, we're not the musically talented,
No,
ones
100%.
ever, and so like we always just have a good time, and I think that's helped us, you know, continue playing gigs and stuff. We always have a good time.
We
And
do
like,
love playing live.
We do.
If people can only enjoy it half as much as we can, then
I'll be able to see
yeah, that'll be having a good
But like I said, like if you guys get up, rock it out, everyone's just like, yeah, this is cool, and they'll stick around. Like, do you guys get, as you said, like you've had people sing along to some of your songs and stuff?
yeah, I
like
think that was,
yeah.
recently, yeah, 100. I think Paddy, we had the song Paddy, and that was the first one that kind of took off for us, and that was the first one where we were
Thanks
playing
to
at,
TikTok.
yeah, and people were
TikTok as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
People were like singing along with it. Yeah, one of those where like just blew up on TikTok, like, you know, and before you know it, I think TikTok allows you to kind of reshare it around. I'm not expert. On
Yeah,
TikTok,
I don't even use it. Like,
Yeah,
I kind of stayed out of
yeah.
it. Like, but it seems like it is. Talking to a few DJ mates last night, it seems like it really is like the new, not the new Facebook, it's the new
social media.
media.
It's
It's
cool
cool.
to get things out there, I think.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
so many
cool
people
because
see
it doesn't matter how much of a following you have. You can put something up and it might
Yeah,
go
that
viral.
was
If
like-
you do like a cool video, you might get like 1 million views, and you might have like 1 follower.
Because we have a rah up at TikTok, and none of us really. Actually, you know how to use TikTok a little bit. Put it back. A little bit. He's the youngest in the band who understands it. This whole,
New generation.
but
Whilst I'm over here 28, like, fuck social media.
it does seem cool in that way. Yeah, as you see, you can have like 50 followers, but your videos can get like thousands of views. So there's no requirement to have any sort of following to get your stuff out.
Mm.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to ask as well. So, like, your social media presence, like, so you guys have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and, like, how do you guys go about managing it and stuff like that? Because it's like what Talon said last week. It's like they were just a bunch of boys from Dunsborough, and then they tried to do it, and they're, like, half-assed it. But, like, I really feel like, you know, social media, you got to have that presence these days. You got to keep it up to date. Can
It
you
is
pull up
time
their
consuming.
pages and stuff? That's right, Damo.
Oh, yeah,
Did you find the Spotify as well?
Yeah, I couldn't log on myself. I did find the YouTube.
Oh, you guys have a YouTube channel as well?
Yeah.
No, actually, they have the YouTube
I think it's just a topic
which
one.
is
Oh,
But there
Um,
should be another one.
Another
Which
one?
one?
Yeah, we have a private one as well.
Yeah,
No,
I think
no,
I
if you
made
look
that.
up
I forgot
Rara
the
Viper
password
Paddy,
to it.
there should be a.
Right, look up Rara Viper Paddies. Did you say? Yeah.
It's about Patrick of Offspring.
Patrick from Offspring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Know how he,
Offspring?
it's a
Like
TV
Off-
show.
Oh, okay.
I actually saw
I thought you meant the band. I'm like, what?
No.
I mean, but I thought like
Angry Boys.
Yeah, I got it.
if you guys will play it and you guys can like discuss it. In the...
Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone can see this and like hear it and stuff
cool,
like
right?
that.
Can they still hear us talk?
Yeah. Like we'll talk over it. Yeah. So like, how did you like? What was the inspiration for this song then? In a way, I mean, Angry Boys is it based off a TV show.
It was based on
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Nah, I wrote the best scratch. I remember I didn't like it, and Crucky started adding his lead little part. It's just, I like the because we always argue about like it's probably one of those things. Any band I imagine, but particularly I struggle to come up with like the artwork for whatever city it is that you're doing. And this was one that I think it was the first time that we sort of saw a photo or whatever it was. We were all like, yeah, that's a good picture. So it was at our friend Annie's party. Yeah, at a bush tour. So she takes a lot of photos of us.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's awesome. You played at a bush tour for that. That's sick. Like,
Yeah, it was a fun night. That was just doing sound. It wasn't during the day. That was just us mucking around and doing a bit of a sound check and stuff like that before. There was like this raging bushfire not too far away. So like people were having to do. But we weren't in. It was one of those weird ones, and we were all kind of sober at that point because we were still setting up and things like that. But there was a lot of people already there that had been drinking all day. Pictured probably just behind the photographer at the moment. Yeah, and then this fire broke out, but we didn't have any phone reception where we were. So then us and the other band were sort of having to do little runs back and forth from phone reception to check the defense. Thing to make sure they can put like an evacuation. Like, yeah. Pretty
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And then we saw like
Yeah, the thing, yeah.
Jack's like, we're out.
And then ironically, he's standing there.
But holy shit, though, to see the helicopters, like, oh, we're in trouble. Like,
And we're still looking around, and then like the whole thing, like everyone's like,
They should take it easy in the
the
booze.
worst thing was people like come to the rain. People just put put the fire out. That's not how it works.
We had all our guitars and stuff and amps, and we're like, oh, it's not as easy as a runaway for us. Like, you would have to back down a little bit.
Oh.
But it turned out to be, a really fun night. Yeah, probably too much fun, some would say.
It got dark and then we couldn't really see like the sky.
Jack had volunteered. He's like, we'll be right.
Yeah, that's it. There's nothing in the background. Just keep rocking, boys. Like.
Bit of glow on the horizon.
That's awesome, though.
Julie's the one who drinks the most out of all of us. He's the only one that can drive. So he had to drive.
Yeah, we got the little breath over. That was surprising. I was never going to pick that. But who knows? Maybe he does agree. Julian just like talks. Yeah, maybe. I could see that.
That was a sick song, by the way, as well. Like
Thank
the
you.
quality on that's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. No, it's really good though. And like the vocals, and I kind of expected like a bit more full on, but that's like groovy kind of thing. It's really groovy.
Well, this man here. I won't say it, but yeah, he worked really hard at it. So.
Can we play another one as well, if that's all good?
Go for it.
Cake Week.
K-Queen?
Yeah, this one's probably the heaviest.
This is the one you think we rushed, eh?
No, this is one
I
I
like this one.
And so, like, what was the inspiration for this one as well, then?
I'm dying to hear the meaning of this
fucking
fucking song. I don't think he's worked
Angry
it out.
Boys makes a lot of sense. This is probably just a bit more. I think we came up with the concept first in Calamunda Queen. Like, we were just like, that's a cool name, right?
Yeah.
Cool
That
way
is a
to
cool
describe
name.
Someone, you know,
Yeah.
like a Calamunda Queen. And then the whole song is then written just purely on the concept of like,
Some girl from
pulse up-
Calamunda.
pulse up for a limousine, you know? Like, just, I guess, honesty and sort of stuff like that. Being down, honest Calamunda Queen. But it was all written just to try and tie it back into that original term, I guess. yeah. Nah, lyrically definitely not the better one. For sure.
And so is there only one singer as well, or is it? Cause that sounds doubled up, or is that reverb?
Doing the hard ones. But when we play live, you have been doing the falsetto recently, and you've been loving it, right? On the drum, so the parts, it's good, man. Yeah, round and start, Miley Harris.
Kind of like
Yeah, that's sick though. That's because like, you know, like, ooh, like everyone gets into it. Like. So what time did you guys play at the Bush Shop? Because obviously that's during the day, but did you do a night set as well? Or? Oh, that was just sound.
Us trying to get it working.
Can we make sound? Yeah, that's it.
He's the generator.
And like, how many people were there for the Bush Shop as well? Like quite a few.
It wasn't a massive. It was like a
Yeah.
It was like a little in the bush. Yeah.
But like, how far away from like? Because as you said, like you had to drive to go get reception. Like, was it really?
It was pretty. It was like an
Okay.
Yeah, but it was in this weird like tucked away crevice, and it was something to do with the girl whose party it was. Annie, again, the best, lovely photographer who took that photo. Shout out to Annie. She's left now. We played at her party the other night. She knew someone who knew like a bush, and that was the spot. And the weird thing was, it was quite organised, wasn't it? You kind of like had to hire it out, but not a huge fee. But then they ended up putting up that giant flower.
Yeah, like the sails and stuff like that and shit.
Yeah, so you put these up and then they have these directly facing. It was actually
Fuck yeah.
yeah,
While he was setting them up, there was like ash falling from the
Yeah.
sky.
Contemplating
Whether
like,
to leave
yes.
or not. He's just like,
That's good shit.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Like, dude,
Wow,
I was worried about the
man.
fire.
You sure about the top pedals there? Like, yeah.
So how did the fire start as well? Or was that a bit
It's just like,
controversial? It was just
It was
someone.
somewhere else, like, and I think it was
Just a couple of Ks away. Yeah.
It was
till the end of summer.
Yeah.
Small one.
Yeah, so that's not too bad then. I mean, you guys got your equipment out all right, and everything was all good, and like,
survived.
yeah, and like the hell,
packed my equipment away. I had to set it up.
Oh yeah, well, then we did pack it down at one point, ready to just case.
well, that's fair though. That's completely fair. Like you said as well. Like if you saw the helicopter, I'd be like, oh shit, the cops are gonna be here soon as well. Like we should probably get the fuck out of here, because like it'd be a big fine probably. Like
Oh yeah.
like just for hanging out next to a bushfire.
Stage set up.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing? I was shooting a music video.
Yeah.
Like,
we were
the fire's under control. Don't worry about it.
Because our worry was that we're in the middle of nowhere. And no one's going to come through there checking for people because no one's meant to.
Yeah.
So, like, what?
And then we kind of still like we could like still drive and stuff like that. But then like other people were like, oh god, like we were sort of having to do those main runs back and forth from like into closer to town to just get cell reception, just keeping up to date of what was going on. Yeah, definitely one of the funny gigs though. Man.
So
Most adventurous and exciting.
Yeah. Like, that's a memory bank. That's a memory to keep kind of thing. Is there anything else like maybe like playing at bars or pubs or anything like that? That's
there's one with the last drummer that we had, Stacey.
Oh yeah, that was.
what happened.
I wasn't actually there. That was like,
No, I was there.
you
Yeah,
did.
no, bless Stacey. He was the most chilled. He's greatest guy, most chilled out. Would never seem stressed about anything. And I understand it from a drummer's perspective, right? Like, you gotta pack up your drums and take stuff, and we've just got our guitar bag basically. I like it's a lot less. And we were sort of practicing, and Stacey was very much loved to just it'll just work itself out, Like, do you reckon I need to take my drum stuff? Like, oh, it's up to you, sort of thing. Like, I don't tell you how to do it.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I'll just ask the other band. Like, he was pretty good at that. Just sort of like, just gathering it all, sort of thing. He was not a picky drummer with what he was sort of playing with. And we get there, and it's like this full acoustic set playing, and we're just like
Recorded drums, yeah.
Recorded drums.
And then so
Shit.
Stacey's running around. It's like, do you have drumsticks? And they're all like, nah. And he's running to the thing, and like he's asking like the sound guys, probably must have. And he's like, the sound guy's like, just sort of looking at us like, are you fucking kidding? Like,
It's like, why don't you bring your own shit?
Didn't you bring your
Yeah.
drumsticks? Yeah. And he found drumsticks in the end somewhere like it was down at the sewing room at the back. But then he only had a tom drum and a kick bass, and it was basically just last minute. I had to play a whole half an hour set without cymbals, which was harder with our punk rock band at that stage.
drums.
Yeah, that's it.
So it's kind of like a last minute acoustic-y set sort of thing that we had to figure out on the fly. That was definitely one of our more challenging
songs in drop tuning as well.
Yeah. If you hear us in tune, you're definitely lucky. But no, it was a fun gig regardless. They're always fun. That's the thing. And
have you guys ever had a gig as well that's like kind of just fallen apart in a way, or like something's just not happened? Or
the only one was when we had to play that footy club thing where we had to try drag a 1 hour thing into a 3 hour thing, and that was
that would have been
the limit.
such a nightmare. Honestly though, it's like, as I said before, it's like, I think I've heard this song before. All right, get another beer. Footy boys.
And that was cool. And that was so relaxed. Like, then we just had random people up on stage, sort of jamming on the guitars and stuff like that. It was probably the most money to this day that we've made from a gig, I think. Which was, definitely up there. So,
yeah.
But no.
And then, so like, what kind of gigs have you guys got coming up as well? Because like, as we talked about before, you got Jack Rabbits and stuff like that. Have you got anything else popping up as well in the future at all?
Yeah, we do. We got Jack Rabbits, which is it's probably something we wanted to start doing more, is sort of doing our own gigs and stuff like that. For a long time, we just didn't.
Pretty stressful.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of organising, but it is fun. It's just like your night, and you get to play for like an hour instead of like half an hour, which is cool.
Yeah. Like what type of organisation goes into something like that as well?
Yeah, all this stuff, posters. That's a big one.
You got to organise the bands. You got to sell tickets.
Yeah.
You play gigs too often. Not many people want to buy. tickets.
Organise with the venue.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of stuff.
It's
Merch.
a lot of work,
Gotta get all the merch
actually.
going.
It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you actually do it, it's
Our
stressful to
screens,
understand.
so that's kind of one we've had to move into now. Is getting like visual screens.
Oh, like LEDs.
design, yeah.
Like, okay. Like, but, like,
Photographer.
yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask about as well was like promo material, because like I mean obviously like you had that sick photo of you guys setting up at a bush tour, like, doing sound check, but like have you guys done photo shoots or anything like that?
The
Or
coolest photo anyone's ever taken.
We've never done a proper photo shoot.
One on Spotify is actually out. That's just.
Yeah.
Like,
can we pull that up, Damo? Let's have a look at that. The Spotify one. Spotify photo.
Yeah.
And then also the Facebook. Like, can we go through their Facebook?
But it's we're definitely like getting there now. It's cool, like building those real like as you meet more and more people and sort of thing. And
That's
like the guy we've got Mitch, and he's photographing us on Friday. But we actually just met him because he was traveling around on the tour with us down south, and we just really enjoyed hanging out with him and things like that. So it would just be exciting just to have him there, regardless, like drinking and stuff like
Pretty
that.
crazy though with the something I always thought I don't really now they can make you so online, which
That's
is
it.
so good for promo, and like anyone can take he gets a photo. So it's just like when you see
That's it. That's what I mean as well. Like, one of the reasons why I started doing this is because I'm not very photogenic, right? And like, I had a Facebook page, and then I kind of kept it a little bit under wraps. But then I did a live stream with some mates, like just before COVID happened, and then Facebook's like, "No, you played Drake." Took my page off me. So when they took my page off me, because I just didn't do anything about it. And it's like 3 strikes. And like, oh shit, okay, all right. And then Sony was like, "No, you can't play that song." So they took my page off me, and then I kind of just it was bullshit. It was actually bullshit. It had 750 likes on my Facebook, and it's just like I'd upload all my mixes to it and this and that, and then eventually just I lost access to it. But then it's just like one of those things where like I get booked through mates, like a good friend of mine who actually does bookings at all different types of venues and stuff like that. But you need to have the social media, you need to have the promo material, because just like you said, it's like. People click on the Facebook page and they look at that and go, "That looks like a sick gig."
Yeah, look at that. That was back at that.
Like, where was that?
This is our old. There you go. That's
Mojo's.
That's my
That's
backyard.
sister's,
Fuck yeah.
Ollie's sister's little party there. It is crazy. Like even looking back now, it's not something like I think when we started, no one thought that it'd be something that would go on for this long. Like and
that's their first ever gig.
That's the first gig
Chop
ever,
Suey,
right there. Yeah.
Really?
So when's that? Does it have a date on it?
Smoke machine, living
29th
room.
of January 2019.
There you go. So
Fuck.
almost 3. Is that 3? I don't know. Who's good at maths?
That's
2 and a half.
That's
That was at
last
Jack
time
Rabbit.
you were-
Yeah.
Were you scared of that? Were you scared?
Yeah. That's actually that's my mum's.
That snake caused a few
yeah,
issues actually.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Liz was pissed off about that. I tell you, she's a wonderful occupational therapist, from what I can gather, and still don't. My sister does it as well. I still don't fully understand. I think it's a pretty wide umbrella, the OT umbrella. But she just always. I've had one for my finger to rehab that, but I don't understand how that goes. But Mum's just got this room filled with toys, basically.
Boys.
Yeah, big snakes, and other stuff. But I had my eye on this python for a little while, and we had our first shot jackrabbits. I was like, I'm gonna make this a thing. I'm gonna bring the snake on stage and create a bit of stage presence for us. And we got a bit too wild that night, and the snake's head ended up getting ripped off. And then I had to try to find another large snake to replace that snake.
Fuck.
On eBay, yeah.
Did you find one?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
eBay's a wonderful thing.
It is, yeah.
Absolutely.
So is that where the name kind of came from? Because where did Ra Ra Viper band come on from?
I don't know. The snake was there just because of Ra. The snake was just purely my mum's thing, and I'm in a band called Ra Ra Viper. That's a great little, not a steal.
Because it's a
Little
cool
Bob,
name. Like it's it sticks out in a way.
Yeah,
I think
it's
we've been
unique.
debating a name for like a good few months, and then just one week we were like, we're gonna have a name by the end of this week, and had a bunch of ideas, and then I don't remember.
Yeah, it was pretty tumultuous. I think for a while we're trying to come up with. It's so hard coming up with a band name. Like,
That was, I reckon, one
the
of
hardest thing
things,
we've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah, to this day.
Yeah. I remember
but
like writing pages.
you wanted it to be
band names,
Viper Party,
just
didn't
like
you?
anything. Yeah, Viper Party
Was originally kind of what we were going for, but I always thought it was a bit too aggressive. So then we were just trying to play around how to make Viper Party a little less in your face, and then that ended up getting bounced around for a while. And we ended up with
stuck
Rara
with that.
Viper.
I always reckon Rara Viper's more aggressive than Viper.
But that was because
You can
you were at the Viper, like the house called the, what was it called?
Snake
Like,
Pit.
the Snakes Den or
The
something?
snake pit.
Yeah,
Yeah, something
yeah,
cool.
house. Lived in, I think we called it. Anyway,
It was actually a really nice house.
it was a good house
Yeah.
actually.
Julian-
And
Julian
actually,
still lives
funny
there.
Story, yeah. So I lived there. Started the band. Julian, who our lease ended, and him and his mate moved in just randomly. Like, so he still lives at the same house where we had that first kid.
Oh no shit. That's alright. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. With a
Yeah.
$5 note.
Yeah,
What's with the
mojo.
$5 note?
$5 entry.
Oh, okay. No, that
Yeah.
makes sense. Like, kind of. Like, it doesn't say entry. It's just a $5 note.
Oh, look at some
Yeah,
of those
we've
back in the
moved
day.
back.
Yeah.
We used to do all our stuff. I still back it in PowerPoint. We
It's
used to
so good.
Sweet when
Yeah.
August 2018, actually.
Oh, there
But that's
you go.
so good though, because it's like you can just see how it's like it's just like cropped out, and it's like who's the guys with the shirts off?
So that's myself and the old drummer there.
Okay.
Shirtless.
And it's
Definitely
just
used to look
like-
a lot better back then. But the funny one is, even weird looking at it now on the left, is we were playing at Jack Rabbit Slim supporting the Piscos, and we only knew Julian, our bass player, from the Piscos. That's sort of why we put that
Who's the
photo
guy
up
there
there.
with long hair?
And now he's our bass player,
Oh fuck!
which is bizarre.
Funny playing with Death by Denim as
Yeah, so they were at that
Yeah.
gig as well.
Yeah, because they're quite big now, aren't they?
Yeah, they're killing it. Absolutely killing it. Yeah. Oh, and then when
Hardback.
it's actually a really common thing I think for a lot of bands, particularly starting out in the Fremantle scene, is like a guy called Josh Sweetman is kind of he puts together like a lot of like midweek gigs at Mojo's, and then has a lot of like influence on like a few of the other like the Sonar Room and Freo. I know he's like very involved in, but he's amazing at sort of like just picking up bands from open mic nights. And then giving
helped
you,
us out
and he helped us out heaps. Like he even recorded our first single, and then through that, kind of just gave us our first like bit of support, I guess. Because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We were just like literally making it up sort of as we went along, just going in, and we were sort of willing to play anything, you know, like any gig or anything that anyone threw at us, like Tuesday at midnight, like final closeout gig on a thing would be there, sort of thing.
But that's the thing as well. It's like what I said at the beginning, where it's like, you know, I managed to meet a guy who kind of took me under his wing in a way, and it's like, you know, you go out there and you want to do something, and eventually you meet someone who's like, no, fuck, I'll give you boys a go, kind of thing, and then like, you know, shows you, you know, the right direction almost to start your journey in a way. So. Can we actually pull up the fan page, by the way? Like, I just want to have a look at the Instagram.
Yeah, oh, that's so
Is it on Instagram or what's
Yeah,
the
it's on
actual-
Instagram.
If you look up Rara Viper Itchy Band,
Which I believe means number one.
does it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's so cool, but she always has like Itchy Band, like all these other
of the
things.
best.
You just Google the
The
little
best, yeah.
slang. It's so cool. There's so many little different sayings that they have that you can like, throw
Oh,
into a
fuck
word.
yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
There,
The
there,
hottest
yeah.
rock band in Perth. Everything about the boys that will make you...
So I don't even know.
band in
Just
Perth.
scroll down to like one of those videos. She's got like some.
Oh, wow.
She's got some sick like photo editing app or something. I think. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Stunning.
That's awesome,
No,
though.
but she wrote in the description like Harry's favorite food is margarita pizza, and like went on to state all these facts about me. I was like, a second, like, how do you know all this about me?
But isn't that because we're just
Jack told her.
Private message asking.
At the time, I didn't know this.
I keep
Have you given her a bio on everyone?
Oh, I don't know. What is that? They
She's
literally got
live
any.
streaming this as we speak.
Oh, is
Really?
she? Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I don't know.
That's sick.
Oh, this is the best.
I mean, it's pretty cool. I don't know what app she uses to create all these little videos, but they're definitely my favorite. Yeah, this is a classic.
That's
There's
amazing.
the boys.
But this is what you want, though, right?
This is one of my highlights of being in the band.
She'll have more followers than us in
Yeah,
no
in no time whatsoever.
The Kawaii Boys.
Kawaii boys. So that's the event there for this Friday thing. That's like just one of the classics. You got to organise, and we actually had your friend do it over in Melbourne, didn't we?
Oh yeah, the poster.
Get out, Kerry.
Delicious boys for everyone. I think
She
she's
doesn't
got
quite translate.
Yeah. Sounds like she's really got the hots for you guys.
But don't tell her husband.
Dude, look at the numbers this page is.
Yeah, it's insane.
She wants to make us big in Japan, so.
Well, you never
Mate,
know. That
you
could
never
be the next
know.
place to go.
Yeah.
Like, that would be really cool, though. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, like a couple of
Not
years
that
and it's
big,
like, oh, wait, I interviewed these guys.
Yeah.
Now they're touring
I'm in
Japan.
Biggest follower in Japan.
Yeah.
No, she's great. Yeah, she'll message you like personally, be like, "What's your favorite food?"
Yeah.
And you're like, "What is she brewing up on the social media at the moment?" yeah.
I keep going through
Fish and
more.
chips. Thanks for asking.
Japanese. I love the fucking all the kanji.
No, it's like there's often like like Ollie Chan. What is Chan? Like she'll just say like Ollie Chan to mainly you, not me.
Doesn't that mean
Yeah, what?
Yeah, it's
like
a lot of
honorific. It means
Different levels.
it's like a term of endearment.
yeah,
It's like,
but they're really
little-
cool. Like you
little
look
Ollie.
at and they'll give like a little history on the word, like on the theme, the context of it.
It's a female honorific.
Oh bugger!
Just as we thought. Oh,
Because you have long hair, I reckon.
Was familiar honorific and supposedly derived from the children who could say san properly. They're cute and stay in the language. Used to refer to young women, children, babies, and grandmothers.
Just thinks we're cute.
Less us.
That's good, though.
No, she's great. She's definitely one of the.
Is there many more posts on the
It's
I
pretty
hope there's-
fresh. Yeah.
Very good.
Oh, keep
That
going,
actually-
keep
Hey.
going. One more.
Hey.
Ollie Chan.
Ollie Chan.
Driving forklift badly. One day he'll.
One day he'll run over me.
She's actually hilarious.
Okay.
Look at you looking good there, Jack.
Yeah. I think she's trying
Handsome
to find me a
guitarist, Jack.
Polite and gentleman.
Absolutely perfect son-in-law.
This is so
Does she have any
good.
daughters?
Oh, so there's only like a few up there at the moment. Yeah.
Nah, she's pretty.
only
yeah,
started about
it's only
it.
started a little like a week ago.
Oh, it's only a week ago.
yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah.
Holy shit.
She's putting in the work.
How many
Yeah.
followers does she have?
Let's get some good numbers.
90 followers.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely gotta do that.
She'll message you in a second.
Yeah, she will. She'll start asking about your favourite foods
Yeah,
and all
hold on,
sorts of
give it a
stuff.
second.
Look at that.
Well, do we
She's
have any
actually gonna
comments at all
message
as
you.
well?
Thank you for following.
You're gonna have to read them out though, because I don't have my mic.
All right.
But it is cool because then
we're not
like.
gonna follow you guys on your like Facebook. We're gonna follow this page. We're gonna
Yeah,
share-
I actually back that decision 100%. We can't keep up with the video editing thing that she uses. She keeps that secret close to her chest. We have stolen a couple of them and put them on our but it's originally from her page, and we have to ask her for the native video to send to us so we can put it on ours. Yeah.
Charlie Chessett. Who's Tim Preston?
How Driscoll goes.
Oh, fuck you, Tim.
There he is.
Peach Fuzz was an original name as well.
Yeah, it was.
That
That
was-
was that.
That's a great name. You guys
Yeah,
need to call
Peach
it
Fuzz,
next
Ocean
year.
Beach Hotel. That was up there. I
And
thought that was
ask
good.
Charlie to get you like the Japanese kanji to translate to Japanese. The real kawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's
Can we pull
Tim-
up-
Who's Tim?
He's a mate of ours. Like, really good, mate. Yeah, really good dude.
Atsuko's husband.
Can we pull up actually the normal Instagram page? Because so you've got the two then. You've got like double promotion.
Yeah, we do.
We don't have any control of that.
Yeah, that's it. That's its own
that's
thing.
the gift that just keeps giving.
Yeah.
Basically, you don't know what's going to come out. You might get a question during the week. And you think something's brewing, but you don't know.
They
Could go
post
anywhere.
daily. We post
Yeah.
weekly.
But it is like, as you said, it does take so much time doing all this. I think that's probably one thing because none of us this isn't our full time thing for really anyone in the band. Like everyone's either working full time or studying full time.
Much as we'd want it.
And it's definitely like it's one of those things that you're constantly sort of having to manage and think. I'm a horrible speller. I'll say that. There's been multiple posts where I've looked back and gone, Jesus Christ, how long's that been sitting there?
And so, what was that one back there as well? So, like, you guys all dressed up in blue hazmat suits.
Fire party.
Yeah, the fire party. But
Yeah.
what
The theme was
Fire fest.
Space,
Right.
but we could be
op shop out of this world. Or
Yeah, but
something.
well, Nick had
okay.
been cleaning the asbestos out of his back shed hadn't he, recently, so had a few Azzy suits lying around.
Fuck yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
One off you. Saturday.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we'll just drop one up.
Do we still?
Huh?
I reckon we still
I don't know if we do.
message you.
Message me on name your price.
Yeah, no, just drop it up.
This was at the river.
Harry, Harry's. You actually, that's probably been one of the, good things about you and your video editing skills. We can now do this sort of stuff.
All in iMovie.
I'm better than my PowerPoint, mate. This is also on the TikTok, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was down at the river. The last little show of that.
Nice.
So I guess each time we released a new, because we released the two of them as singles before the rest of the EP
that's-
came out.
What's
Oh,
this?
here you
That's
go.
our dad in his shed, and we announced the competition winner, but we got him to do it. Because it's like it's a renowned spot for kick-ons. Because our dad loves to stay up late, and but every night before he goes to bed, he'll have a sambuca and a coffee. Because Italian
Italian,
heritage,
yeah.
apparently. But, yeah,
He's always up.
Yeah.
it's actually pronounced Tesser.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it always ends up with a whole bunch of people going back to the shed.
Yeah.
It's a
The
It
man
actually is,
cave.
like, as a non-family member who's been there multiple times, it is impressive that you rock up there at God knows what hour, and you just hear him get out of the house and go, right, and then he comes and parks up, and you can't leave as soon as he gets there. He puts on an album or some musical thing, and then
Just start listening
proceeds
to
it.
music.
Just
Bullshit.
chill.
Yeah.
Do you reckon
he
Fuck
has
yeah.
real political.
Yeah,
Loves his music history.
loves his music history in a big way.
Can we actually, can you turn the volume up on this? And who won? So, like,
Tara
I
to
don't know.
Cruz got the
Complete.
first
yeah, I'll
spot.
turn mine down.
Shout out Tara Cruz. If you
Yeah,
see.
we got your shirt for you.
Can't wait to see you on Friday.
We go.
And George.
Fuck yeah.
You need a man cave, you know?
Yeah.
And you're... Is he coming to Slims?
Yeah.
Oh, good man.
That's sick. That's awesome though. Like
Second time.
his whole attitude and tone is like, well, g'day guys. Like, yeah, Georgia Distro. All right, yeah, you won, yeah.
No, he's great. Very welcoming into that man. You know, anyone's welcome. Everyone's made to feel. As long as you don't
Unless
pinch
you
his, unless you steal his beers out of his fridge, which we've seen happen a few clients.
Oh, God.
He's pretty good outside of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just your little East Freo
Yeah.
round day.
So yeah, as Damo just said, we've only got 5 minutes left anyway as well. Like time
That went
flies.
quick.
That went
Yeah,
quick.
time
long
flies
we
when
been
you're
going
having fun. Hour and a half.
We were, Yeah, I was like thinking, no, an hour and a half is like 5.
Yeah, but time
I
flies.
thought we were like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I think last time we
Almost
was
time
like
to go
20
back to the shed.
Yeah, that's it.
You boys coming?
Yeah, could do for a sambuca. Coffee.
We'll call Mike up. Yeah. See
So-
him wander out. Janice would.
He said he was watching. Maybe I should call.
Yeah. So like, what's the future look like for you guys? Like, what are your goals and where do you want to go? And like, do you want to tour and go play in Japan? Like,
That's probably the ultimate one. Japan tour, I think.
that would be pretty damn cool though.
yeah.
Like,
I think we're hoping about.
Over East,
hopefully
we wanna
going
go to,
over
for
East
sure.
At the end of the year. Or start of next.
there's just a
got a
few
few-
gigs over there and stuff.
Hopefully.
Trying to like,
Gotta-
at the moment, we're like, yeah, hopefully get over East. And like, because we all work, like you'd think originally, actually does help us, got a bit of, we can actually kind of like make it a holiday if we go over East and like play some shows, because
We wouldn't
Love
call
it.
it a tour. We'd call it a boys' holiday.
boys
Mm.
trip
If
almost.
Any venue is willing to take, and obviously we've got a few friends and stuff still over there and things like that. And it's like the smallest, venue in Melbourne. Just to like go there and like it'd just be cool to like just have a trip with, hang out and then go and play over there. And
Well, see, I've got a few mates, and what they've done to try and get like, it's like a bit of like more of a social media presence is you document the whole thing. You just go over there and have like
Yeah.
a wild time. You edit it. You just make it look like just like one hell of a party. Then you come back and then everyone's just like, fuck yeah, they went over there and had the sick time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and the word
100%.
spreads kind of thing.
Also, I've just got something to say. Mike's just sent me a message,
Yeah.
and he said beers are in the freezer.
Fuck. Shout out to Mike. Yeah. But yeah, no, that'd be awesome if you guys could go over East. But like, whereabouts? That like Sydney, Adelaide,
you
Melbourne?
were living in Melbourne.
Because I was in Melbourne, like I got a few mates there and stuff, so we thought like really super scene.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll just have to see. As we were saying before, like, hey, it's so like insular. Like we've been doing all right now. We've got a few shows and stuff, so we really like to go over there and just kind of spread. Have the chance to play a bunch of like all new crowd or something. Like that,
Yeah.
support some bands. See how we go.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, if you just message and then you can find out, because like
Yeah.
that's the thing as well. Is like with his podcast, like I didn't end up messaging the people, but all I can do is be like, hey, I'm coming over. I do this. Like, I know you follow me on Instagram. I've seen you watch my stories. Like, do you want to come on? Like, and then just rock up with a microphone, and be like, stick it in their face, kind of thing.
The
So
power of Instagram now.
and that's it. Well,
Everyone's so
social media in
connected.
general,
Yeah.
just so easy. Just like find people and message them, and then and networking, and like if you've got you never know, you might have some mates that already have mates over there as well. They can tee you up with gigs or this or that or whatever the scenario is. Because I only just found out last night as well. Like I said, like I was planning on actually interviewing a few people over there, and that Tim Preston guy, a mate of mine, he was telling me his last night, "Oh, you're gonna go interview people?" Well, dude, like I lived over there for ages. Like I could set you up some gigs, and I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
please. Like, I'd love that. Like,
Yeah.
if you're watching, Tim.
Little reminder.
Yeah, little reminder. All right. Well, we're about to run out of time. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming
This is
on.
actually all. I
Thank you.
can't believe. I still can't believe this fucking setup.
Yeah.
This is
it's all right.
nuts.
Yeah.
Whoever's watched this before, it's not one wall. It's like the whole.
Yeah.
fucking place.
Massive
It's
case
all
of
fucking
wondering.
360.
Well, like I said as well, like it's just I wanted to have like just a man cave boys room kind of thing, and then
Yeah.
I thought, well, turn it into a fucking podcast studio, and then we got the beer fridge, so away you go.
Mark would be proud of that beer.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, thanks heaps for having us.
Yeah.
It's been a heap of fun.
Dude, so good, such a good conversation, and like what I've said to some other guests as well, it's like in a year or 2 years, like get you guys back on, and like read track of like what we talked about last time, and then the progress you guys have made now, and then like talk about what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because like I said, you never know. Like in 2 years, you guys will be fucking Japan. Like,
Who knows?
you don't know. Like,
Maybe the Ichiban band page would be like 10 times bigger.
That's
than
it.
ours. Yeah, it would just
then you
be
have to buy it off of her.
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Cheers for that. So yeah. And-
Awesome.
And then next week we've got another band on. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
What is it?
It is.
Get in the band scene now.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I've got a mate of mine, Simon Charman. Actually, no, but I'm trying to hook up some more bands. If you guys know any more bands that want to come on or anything like that, fucking throw them my way.
Yeah.
Because like just
Yeah,
keep
Old
networking.
Mervs, Lenny the
Humble
Bremmers,
Armada.
Pretty Uglies,
Yeah.
Humble Armada,
Yeah.
so many.
Yeah.
So many. And yeah, just like probably same as us, just chomping at the bit for any. So like,
Yeah.
this is so sick. Just like sitting down, because we've done like the 20-minute interview, but this is so much cool. Like, sitting down for like an hour and just like,
Just
yeah.
hanging
Yeah.
out and having
Yeah,
yarns,
absolutely.
basically. Yeah. Yeah. Cheers, guys. And then yeah, we'll see you next week. So Damo makes us wave at the camera as well, so you guys
They
will.
know it's over.
So we
is
gotta
that
wave.
one over there, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
perfect.
Ah.
See you guys later.
Adios.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
All right.